You're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day. And this morning, we're giving away good money to good people who dial *439#. You can win up to 1,000 Ghana cedis today. Yesterday, we gave away 2,000 cedis each. Today, we're giving away 1,000 cedis each. In exactly 8 days, we're going to be giving one person 10,000 Ghana cedis on the show. Just to say thank you and also to give you something small to celebrate the Christmas with. So start today. Dial *439# and build momentum. Who knows? You could be that lucky winner of 10,000 Ghana cedis on the 26th, live on TV3 New Day. Also, if you would like to share your thoughts and opinions on any of our topics for discussion today, you can do so via Twitter with the hashtag TV3 New Day, and I'll be happy to read them. Today, the ladies are here, and we're continuing our conversation on matters arising from the GES. So we know that some heads of senior high schools were asked to step aside because they had allegedly charged unapproved fees. All right. Now, Nat has been talking, Chas has been talking. Chas earlier said that they did not agree with the way that these heads of senior high schools were asked to step aside because as at the time that they put out the announcement, they had not heard anything. Their heads had not been directly communicated to, but they heard on the news and on social media that they had been asked to step aside. Yesterday, the leadership of NAT, Ghana National Association of Teachers, and the leadership of CHAS met the Director General of the GES, the Ghana Education Service, to consider tamper justice with mercy, if you like, and consider reinstating these heads of senior high schools. They say that the meeting was fruitful, and we'll bring you a clip from the meeting or the aftermath of the meeting and to let you know exactly what was said and what we are to expect. Also, we're going to be talking about a certain ranking that has come out recently. The U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission has ranked Ghana as the most indebted African country to China since HIPC, since we declared HIPC. Our ladies are here, and some of them are very heavily branded with a lovely T-shirt with a big logo of the 24-hour economy. The 24-hour economy. Nana Ikea Avle is here. She's a member National Communications team. I beg your pardon?
They don't have ideas.
Cookie is not on air with us. So let those of us on air, let's have this conversation. I see you came with your baseball cap,
Yes,
and your shirt.
Good.
And is this your tripod?
No, it's my phone stand.
It's your phone stand, so you're streaming live as well.
No, I have to see clearly so that I can speak to the issues because this NPP government, they have a lot of problems. And
Okay.
so I usually position my phone this way.
Okay.
So that I can have it clearly and read things clearly.
Okay,
And
I
explain
see.
things to the people of Ghana.
Okay,
So now we are bringing our 24-hour economy. That is a deliberate policy intervention.
Okay.
From the NDC.
Okay.
And from the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. As we know, the country has been run down. We are now bankrupt. We are now struggling. Things are not too good. And so we need a visionary leader. We need a nation builder.
I only said good morning.
Let me finish. Let me conclude 1 minute. To come and bring us our 24-hour economy.
Okay.
To make things better.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
All right. Also in the studio this morning, we have our very own Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa. I'm always butchering your name. Achimpim Jantwa. She's Executive Secretary of the Coalition of Stakeholders in Electricity Contracts and Arrangements. And since last week, or about a week and a half ago, there have been a lot of lobbying for you to join the NDC or the NPP. Has any of the lobbying yielded anything yet?
No. Right now, I'm just resting. I have to concentrate on my CSO. I've left it idle for some time.
None of them has been able to convince you.
The coalition is made up of the Imani Ghana, that is represented by Kofi Bentil. Then we have Mr. Kojopoku. Then we have what is his name? my brother Kwame Jantua, then others, Kofi Kapito and others. We are still bringing on board 1 or 2 people. And we have Richard Nyama as well. And our chairman is Dr. Mantea.
Okay.
So now I'm concentrating on making sure that the COSECA, which has been there for about 6 years,
okay,
and I've been an executive secretary, but I neglected COSECA when I ventured to be the general secretary of the CPP. But now I have to take it back and make it what it's supposed to be in the energy sector. On the part of politics, nobody should rush me now. At the appropriate time, I'm a politician, and I will never stop being a politician.
Okay.
And
so for now, we are focusing on COSECA.
Yes, for COSECA.
Everyone else should wait.
Yes.
All right.
Wait for a while. let me baby and make COSECA strong. But as I said to you, of a usuma brewa baby or better dear, Nisa would join home. When you push an old lady, you have an argument with an old lady, and you push the old lady. Wherever the old lady, lands, it's not your business.
What's the meaning of the expression?
It means that some people should let me be. Where I will go is none of their business. If they've pushed me out, from behind the scenes, and I am where I am, where I have landed, well, where I will land, should not be of interest to them. Not at all.
Okay. All right. Also in the studios this morning, we're joined by Loratu Musa Saka. She's a national communications team member of the NPP. Loratu, how are you?
I'm good.
It's good to have you, as always.
Good to be here.
You don't have anything further to say.
Kasatente
Both of your sisters have...
Kasatente and Toponko.
Kasatintin and Toponko, which means long talk doesn't buy a horse. What's the meaning of this expression? Today we are full of proverbs and idioms and expressions. Obanya safu yen kanase. You akwaba. You're welcome. So we're starting off our discussion this morning with the GES update. As you may know, the leadership of Nat and Charles met the Director General of the GES, Dr. Eric Nkansa, yesterday, and they say that they had a very fruitful discussion. Let's take a look at a video of the General Secretary of NAS, Thomas Musa Tanko, after he spoke to TV3 after the meeting.
There should be a way out of us working together with the Ghana. The GES cannot do it alone. Sure. The GES cannot do it alone. And looking at the timing, we have the SHS ones in school. Okay, they have reported. They will certainly need these head teachers to give some kind of guidelines and directive as to how the management of the school and other related matters should be done. And if at the beginning of the first semester we are having all these challenges, it can have a significant amount of effect and impact on what happens or what should happen in the school. Sure. And that is what we want to avoid. And we've had extensive discussion with the Director General yesterday. The National Executive of NAT did that yesterday, an appeal to the Director General to temper justice with mercy based upon all the issues that have happened. And we are confident and hopeful that based upon the fruitful discussions we had, the Director General will consider all the issues that came up and then make sure that these teachers or these heads are really, yes, so that they go and get what they are doing. So all the outstanding issues that have come up, together with GES, we will see how best we can work and get them ironed out. But once again, for and on behalf of the Ghana National Association of Teachers and the National Executive and Council, we say, DG, thank you very much yesterday for the open and frank discussions we had, the fruitful one, of course, and we hope that the issues that came out of it will be considered.
Right, that was the Executive Secretary of NAT, Mr. Musa Tanko, speaking after that meeting with the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Now, before all of this, let's take you back a bit. After the head teachers who were found to have been charging unapproved fees were asked to step aside, the president of NAGRAT, Mr. Angel Kabonu, spoke. This is what he had to say.
There are some line items that the government pays for. But the money that is coming now is only for perishables. So, for example, when you admit about 1,000 girls into a boarding house, there ought to be detergents of different kinds to ensure the sanitary situation in the school is such that our daughters and our sisters will not be infected by disease. If there are no resources available for the purchase of these sanitary materials, someone ought to pay for them. If you assemble all the students and say everybody should pay 100 Ghana cedis or 50 Ghana cedis or 20 Ghana cedis for the materials, it will be deemed to be extorting money from students. If you mobilize parents and you complain to parents that this is the challenge we are faced and that government subventions have not been paid, and that for your children to stay healthy in the boarding house, we need to buy some of these detergents, you'll be accused of extorting money from parents. So what do you expect the headmaster or headmistress to do? Either the headmaster or headmistress pretends there is no problem for the infections to go on and affect our students, or you take initiative and you will be branded as collecting money from the students, so you are interdicted. If I were you, which of these two will I opt for? I will opt for the one that will protect my office, certainly.
All right, so that was the president of NAGRAT, Mr. Angel Kabonu, speaking after the heads of certain senior high schools were asked to step aside for charging unapproved fees. And his advice seems to suggest that it's better for head teachers to focus on their core mandate and protect their office rather than take initiative, he said, and get into trouble. Ladies, let me start with you, Lorato. After we heard that the senior high school head teachers had been asked to step aside, many Ghanaians were concerned. There was a cross-section of Ghanaians who believed that these head teachers ought to have stayed, done what they ought to do, not charged fees outside of the approved fees. And others thought that it's good to take initiative. Like Angel Kabonu said, if you have over 1,000 girls in a school, you need to buy certain detergents to ensure that they don't get certain infections. And if that allocation has not been done by government and the Parents Association offer or agree to pay for these detergents, then taking that initiative could get you in trouble. So perhaps you shouldn't do that. What are your initial thoughts on this?
No. Good morning once again. Good morning to my sisters and our cherished viewers. I mean, when it comes to education, it's an issue that everyone needs to be passionate about. It's virtually the future of the nation. And when it comes to senior high schools in particular, because of the intervention or the free SHS policy, some of these challenges come to light a lot. Over the past few years, we used to have a lot of stories flying around on supply of food, supply of other items that government is supposed to take care of. Interestingly, those issues after buffer stock was giving some quantum of money to start paying some of its bills, it's died down. But let's come to the administration of our senior high schools. Before free SHS, those parent-teacher associations, I mean, which are now parent associations. You have old students who come in to support schools, and there were other fees that schools used to pay. I remember when I was in secondary school, there was this bill I used to find very interesting. At the Sadell School fence hall, a fence wall. You know, that was appearing on the bill all the time. I don't know whether it still appears.
At Chimota High School fence wall.
At the Sadell
College fence wall.
School fence wall. I remember that line item very well. But now we have a free senior high school, and government is committed to paying a number of things on the thing. And like Mr. Kabonu said, the money that comes in comes from perishables. Then the ones that can be stored over a period of time comes through government, which are all part of the bills. But there's a difference between parents agreeing to make a contribution to the school, all students agreeing to make a contribution to the school, and the school insisting that you pay A, B, C, D. We need to draw that line, because all students' associations still help their schools. Parents go into the school, have discussions. Obviously, when your child is in a school, you'll be interested in the well-being of your school. So if parents decide that this is what we are doing, it doesn't become mandatory on anyone. But if you go into a school and there's a bill, in addition to the prospectus that you've been given, and thankfully, the prospectus list has been harmonized. And it was released I think about a month before the placements came in to give parents.
It was released a week before the date of
in November,
reopening.
yeah. In November.
Okay.
The harmonized prospectus was released in November to give parents, so that it doesn't become too much of a rush when the placements come for parents to be running around to get the items on it. Apart from that, the other thing too is the cleaning items and detergents was also categorized into groups. So you don't have every student sending a broom or every student sending the same items. So I remember our time, there was a hole. So you have over 300, 400, 500 holes because everybody is bringing a hole. But this time around, it's like a third of the school bringing a group of items, another third. So you have enough to go around because you have all students reading, all students cleaning at the same place at the same time. So some of those interventions have been brought in. If you're a head of institution, and like the president of NAGRAT has said, the secretary has said, there has to be a multi-stakeholder approach to these things. And they agree to that. And that's the approach we must use. But if you, as a head teacher, gives a list to the extent that some were charging 2,000 for protocol admissions, when we all know that what is being used is the CSSP. So if you are charging 2,000 for protocol admissions, some were charging all kinds of fees. You know how desperate every parent can be just to get their child settled in school. So you go and they pull this bill to you. You've bought the items on the prospectus. Government has to take care of the other things that is indicated on the bill. So all you know is, apart from the things you buy for your child to take to the school, then you go and you are supposed to cough up some 2,000, some 5,000. It doesn't augur well for anybody. It doesn't augur well for the development of our education. It doesn't augur well for, that doesn't mean that there are not challenges within it. But also adding on to the cost also adds on to the challenges that we are trying to solve. But what has happened is they've been asked to step aside for investigations to go. Obviously, it's fair. You can't just judge someone without giving them a fair hearing. So they've been asked to step aside. But one of the items I saw was a story saying there's a possible reinstatement of them. For what
Nats
I know,
and Chas met with the Director General of the GES.
So from what I understand, it was a National Council conference or so and the Director General happened to be there. And from what they are also indicating, they had a fruitful discussion with them. But what I know that was emphatic and was said strongly was that they are not going to relax on how the disciplinary measures put in place. Before the students even went in school, there was a letter from Ghana Education Service, and it's even on their socials, telling every head, it went to the regional directors, telling them to make sure that every school adheres strictly to what has been released. So if you are going outside that, even after that directive has been issued, then obviously you have to be taken through the disciplinary process. And they sign on to a code of conduct and all that. And that code of conduct was referred to in the letter that was written to them to step aside, which I think is the right process to go, because they definitely will have some explanation and all that, but whether the explanation is feasible, whether it goes with the rules and regulations or goes against the rules or regulations, they will have to do it. But I also think that when it comes to education, when we agree on certain things, we all need to adhere to it.
Director, what do you say to people who say that some of these so-called unapproved fee charging is because of the problems with the free SHS? Because free SHS suggests that a lot of the costs for senior high school education is covered. But if some of these costs are supposed to be covered and they are not being covered, that's probably what will push senior high school heads to want to charge these fees, because the things they are charging for, some of the things they're charging for, are probably needed for the efficient or effective running of the school or for the academic year to begin smoothly. Can you help us? Can you tell us what exactly the free SHS covers? Can you give us a breakdown?
So when you take, let's go to what some of them were charging. And we're asking, when you take the one for Asanteman Senior High School, they're charging checking of results 30 cedis, admission process 40 cedis, printing of slip 30 cedis. Where does this come in? There's a short code that you go to, you buy, you use it to check your placement. The prospectus is there, has been harmonized. You go to the school and that's all. What is it? Then you go to Kumasi Senior High Technical School, sale of files and hymnal, sale of assessment record forms, sale of books at a specific designated shop out of the school, protocol admission charge at ICT Lab 2,000. If the CSSP is what is being used, even when you are not placed, there's an option of doing self-placement. So where does this come in? When you take Mansoe Dubia Senior High School, ICT picture without printing 40, admission fee 300, payment of registration point 400, protocol payment 200, PTA dues payment 400, sale of school uniform 300.
Does the free SHS cover school uniforms?
Yes. When you take Agre Kenzema Community Senior High School, sale of bed 3-in-1 500, sale of sports vest 80 cedis, sale of checkered dress 80, sale of white dress 30. Check. You see, if you decide to have a shop in the school and all that, but to make it mandatory, look, in Career Senior High School, sale of Exeat book, payment of SRC dues, sale of crest and all that. So now let's go to what free SHS covers. And all these things are public information. When you go to, for instance, the Ghana Education Service, Facebook page. What pre-SHS covers is on that page.
So what I have here is
You
core
get it.
textbooks,
Yeah.
supplementary readers books, exercise books, where applicable, free drawing instruments at no cost to parents. Now you mentioned school uniforms, which some of the
So when you take
from the letters you read,
Yes.
some of the schools were charging for the checkered dresses and the white dresses and so on. If you listen to the president of NAGRAT, he says that, well, some of the monies that have come for the secondary schools cover the perishables. But some of the things the students need, and I would like to assume that some of these listed uniforms are some of the things that the students need, of course, to be able to enroll in the school. If monies for these have not yet come in, and school is beginning, what is a head teacher to do?
Yes, teacher is supposed to refer to his superiors on the way forward, not to institute a charge and put a burden on parents.
I remember listening,
process.
I believe, to Angel Kabonu
Yes.
again. He said that
That's the advice he gave.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says just don't take initiative. Don't do anything and protect your office.
I don't think.
But realistically,
I don't think. Why don't you refer to your superiors? Why don't you, even if you decide that this is the initiative I'm taking, why not refer to the regional education director for approval, who also has superiors? There's a chain of command.
Okay.
You don't take a unilateral decision and decide to, unless they are saying that they got approval from their superiors to charge those things.
okay, let me come to you,
that comes
ladies.
into a different realm.
Okay. Nanaya,
Me, I'm sitting here. Good morning to my sisters. Good morning to you. Now, your dress is very nice.
thank you so much.
I wish I was slimmer. I'll say a good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama this morning.
Great.
Yes. Oh, I haven't spoken to you.
I just said
I
great.
don't need your accolades. Good
We
morning.
want to hear the rest of your greetings.
Good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama this morning. Yesterday I watched him in, is it a Hafo?
Yes,
No, no. The other one, it's not Hafo. The other
Sefiri
also. And the way he conducted himself was great, especially regarding the choice of his running mate. And I saw some light around him, and it was pleasant. I also want to say good morning to Honorable Alan Kojuche Martin. He's great, he's doing great. And his wife, Auntie Pat, Mrs. Chemati, I'm saying good morning to you. And good morning to all Ghana. And I believe that Ghana will be great again, and Ghana will arise.
Will you say good morning to Dr. Baumia as well? Or?
No way. Can we move on? No way. I don't need your backing vote.
Oh my.
I'm asking because you've said good morning
I'll
to
say
some of
good
our
morning
flag bearers.
to
So-
His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He is my father, and I wish him good health. I wish him strength in the midst of everything, and I wish that God be with him. My dear,
It's a huge statement.
everything that we are hearing is as a result of a systemic failure in the education service or sector. You see, if you were a teacher or you've ever been a teacher before, you are like a parent. And if there are difficulties, especially with how to get to your logistics and all that, sometimes you are forced to take initiatives. And you take initiative because you have in mind the young ones you are dealing with. I have a friend whose son went to SHS last year, and she actually bought a bed.
Was she asked to buy a bed or she bought it herself?
No, she had to buy a bed because her son couldn't get a place to sleep. Another one's son, GSTS, stayed in a hostel. And that's, at a point I was concerned that the young ones staying in hostels especially the girls, how safe are they? They stay in hostels, places like Cape Coast, around the schools. They cross the road to go to these hostels. And this government will come and tell you, oh, we are doing free SHS. I have some list here. And some are suspicious, like enrollment fee. There should be a definition to that.
Where's this list from?
There should be a definition to that. When you were doing, I didn't ask you where the list is from.
Oh, I mentioned where the list
No,
is from.
please, so you can't ask me. So
But Nana, you should tell us what you are reading.
It's a letter from the GES.
Okay.
To, you see, you don't have to just mention people's name once, but this is Mr. Joseph, one of the headmasters, and telling them some of the things that they have charged fees for.
Okay.
And it is signed by one, is it Gabriel Enchi, regional director, yeah.
So this is a letter from a headmaster to the GES?
No, from the GES to a headmaster, sacking the person.
Okay.
But saying that these are some of the things you have charged for.
Okay.
So, we have SRC fees. I don't know if the young ones have SRC.
They do.
20 cedis, they do. Okay, 20 cedis was. Then there is calculator, math set, graph. In the prospectus, I saw that the parents should buy math sets and calculators. So I do not know. Maybe some didn't look at it. Maybe when they got there, they didn't have and they were asked to buy. We need to put more explanation to some of these accusations. You talk about hymn book. When we were in secondary school, we bought hymn books. Hymn books is not part of the prospectus. And you go to church. And when you go to church on Sunday, you sing. So there's hymn book here. I don't think if you ask somebody to buy a hymn book is a crime. 3 white shirts for males. The boys. I don't know whether it was part of the prospectus. And what is these white shirts? What are they meant for? When we were in secondary schools, we bought things on the prospectus. But when you got there, they made you also buy certain things. I saw one saying that they should buy an anniversary cloth, one sewn, or if you don't want to sew it. We also used to buy anniversary cloth.
Yeah.
Because when the anniversary starts and you don't have the cloth, or the cloth is finished, it means you have to wear your uniform. Mm-hmm. Do you get me? So we need to posit this thing very carefully. Some of them are questionable, but some of them, house dues. You used to pay house dues. We used to pay house dues and we used it for so many things. The detergent that Angel Carbono is talking about, it is on the prospectus. So if somebody charges for detergent, then we should find out, did parents go with everything on the prospect? That's the first point of call. We need to find out. Sometimes, out of experience, some of these headmasters make these things available for the parents to buy when they get there, if they check the prospectus and it is not there. So you need to take your time before you start sacking people. The GS should come and tell us that, oh, we did all the checks. And it came out that these children had these items and they asked them to buy extra. House jersey. Everybody buys a house jersey.
Yeah.
A house jersey is not bought outside because it has the crest of the school. And I don't know how it is today, but in our time, we had the crest and we had the house at the back. And during school games and all that,
even for PE.
For PE and everything, we wear the school jersey as well.
So your point is that it's all right for the head teachers to have charged for things like this?
Yes, we need to find out. 2,000 for protocol, then you need to define what is protocol. Is it being covered under the items that the parents cannot talk about, like accommodation, hostel? Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Has it been covered? So we need to check for girls. We all bought check house dress. We had the blue check. We had the pink check. We had the red check. We had the yellow check. So we need to find out embossment of items. Pardon me, you used to pay for it. That is not something on the prospectus. They emboss your name on your trunk or your chop box, your caps. So are these things, we need to find out exactly what it is before we jump to conclusions.
I wish Lorato could help us with a full list of what the free
Please,
SHS
I haven't
covers exactly.
finished,
I'm not crossing over. I'm not crossing over to her. I'm
Then
just,
I also know that the letter
Lorato.
said they should step aside for
Lorato.
investigation.
No, please, I beg you.
hang on.
Please.
Yeah, just
She
hang on.
spoke for
That
25
context.
minutes.
Hey.
I was timing you, yes.
Nanaya, let's
When
go.
did the show start?
25.
Nanaya, let's go.
7:30. You spoke for 25 minutes. So the point is that we need to, you see, you have to find out what is going on. Because some of these items are items that when you go to secondary school, they are statutory. It is not part of your prospectus. But you need them because when the time comes for you to use it, you'll be out of place if you don't have it. So why then do you say that you are sacking somebody? Because if you have
They've been asked to step aside.
Yeah, but step aside the sack.
For investigations.
No, but if you see these items, me when I saw it, the only problem I had is the 2000 protocol. But when I saw these are the items that in school,
Unnecessary.
yes, we used to buy them. When you get to school, you have your prospectus, you have everything, but you are asked to buy these things which are not on the prospectus. A house jersey cannot be bought on the market. A house jersey is an item for the school, is a property of the school.
So I think the question is, if all these are necessary, and I think a lot of us agree that these are necessary, why didn't these heads of senior high schools go through an approved process?
Because it is
before charging.
Sweetheart, it is statutory. It is standard. Well, if you've been to let's not bring politics into this. When you are once you enter a secondary school, these are things that you buy. So sometimes it's possible the headmasters will take it for granted. You will buy a hymn book whether you like it or not. What are they saying that the children are no longer Christians? They cannot go to church because of free SHS? No. You will go to church. You will go to church and you will, if it's an Islamic school, you will be given a Quran. You'll be given a Quran or whatever you have to recite. It's a Christian school, you buy a hymn book. A Methodist hymn book, because it has all the hymns. You buy it. These are things that are bought in secondary schools. Unless those in charge, they didn't go to any secondary. Because if you went to a secondary school, these are not suspicious things. It is done.
Aside the protocol 2000.
That is what I'm saying. That one is suspicious. What is 2000 protocol for? They should let them explain. Because you see, how are you going to investigate? We are going to investigate by even interrogating the headmaster. So why don't you interrogate before you see this populist kind of things that we do? It is not good enough to show that you are doing something. No. You need to take your time to find out how these things are. But if the Director General of GES, I believe, went to a secondary school, sees these things, house dues, who does not pay house dues? Who does not? Even day students, they are attached to houses. They pay house dues. They pay.
Okay.
So 2000 for protocol, that is problematic. But these ones, 20 CDs, 30 CDs, and sometimes parents don't buy everything on the prospectus. I'm telling you. So you get there and it is necessary, like a calculator. In our time, we didn't use calculator. You have to calculate everything in your head. Now, they are saying that the students should use calculator. For me, it's not a good thing. It doesn't sharpen your brain. But if that is what it is, and somebody gets there and the person hasn't got a calculator, it is possible the school has a stock that you can buy from so that your child wouldn't have any problem. Maybe your child would have to go and borrow or something like that. How much is the calculator?
But if we encourage heads of senior high schools to go ahead to charge for these things, don't you think that perhaps is what will open the floodgates for some suspicious fees like the protocol fee, for example, that you mentioned?
Fees is suspicious.
So why not go through the approved process?
My dear, I am telling you
charging?
that if you have been to secondary school before, these are things that you buy in the school.
That was before free SHS.
But I'm saying if before free does it cover school? If free SHS covers school jersey, if it covers house dues, they should come and tell us. So it is unapproved. If free SHS covers hymn book, we are talking
when
about.
I come back to you, Laura, I'd like you to
Please.
give us the list
We are not,
of the things that free SHS covers.
There's no house
I think it will put
dues.
things in better
And
perspective
if
for
it
us.
is real, you see, now there are times that you have these things on paper. Go to the reality, it is not there. Do you get me? They will write that free SHS covers A, B, C, D. Go there yourself I know parents whose children are in SHS. They will tell you it covers everything. You go there, there's not there. Look at the prospectus that is lying there. Have you seen it? They are buying everything, and you say free SHS.
All right. Nanekia.
Yes, darling, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Let me say good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and good morning to the good people of Ghana, especially our NDC fraternity, those watching us locally and globally. And also good morning to all the NPP disappointed members who have joined the NDC. We are welcoming them in grand style. And our 24-hour economy, like you've seen me wear. When I got here, when I got to TV3, I had a lot of people here telling me, oh, Nanekia, we want some of your T-shirts. Nanekia, we are with you. And so next time when I'm coming, I'll bring a number of them and then give it to you.
Were there people at the car park?
No, I mean everybody around.
People out.
I met
around
people.
where?
Now
Around the car
I
park
met
everywhere.
whether car park, whether inside. I met people who were admiring my beauty and admiring my nice 24-hour top. And they said next time I should bring them some. So I will.
All right.
So whether it's hurting Naratu or not, I don't know whether they can also. Now,
Well,
let's talk about education.
yes, please.
I am very, very passionate when it comes to education.
Mm-hmm.
I love education. Without
What is the
education,
key?
it's the key. Education is the key to everything. It is the key to national development. It is the key to progress. It is the key to employment. It is the key to everything. It is because of education. That's why the economic whiz kid became a vice president. The same education made our president a president. And so education is a serious business for me and for everybody. And so for the NPP to be playing with our educational system and politicizing it and making fun of it, degrading our education system, messing up everything in terms of education, I find that really, really, really upsetting. And I am angry. See, nobody is saying that the free education is not a good policy. Everybody is saying that it is a good policy. The implementation, you have gotten it wrong. You did not implement it well. You did not consider a lot of factors before implementing. You just got up and jumped into it. Now there are difficulties. There are challenges. Parents want to help. Parents are crying. They are determined to help. And you're holding them that don't help me. Keep quiet. Even if you have 1,000 Ghana to pay something for your ward, don't pay. Keep it in your house. What is the sense in this now? Does this make sense? And I am particularly sad that this morning we have to sit here and discuss teachers charging hymn book 30 cedis.
30 cedis.
Something 25 cedis. Something 10 cedis.
cedis.
Something 2 cedis. I am particularly so upset. Why do we have to sit here and discuss all this? The last time I checked on Google and I Googled list of popular scandals in the NPP government, I got 100 of them. 100 of scandals under this NPP government. Have they all been told to step aside? They are busily doing their work, messing up the economy, looting, stealing, doing all sorts of things that are not right. And yet, they are not stepping aside.
Who are you referring to?
Wait. A teacher has charged him book 30 cedis. Uniform. I went to Infantman Girls. When we were going to school, hymn book was compulsory. It was mandatory. Mrs. Coffee, who was our headmistress, will not allow you in the school if you don't have hymn book. Because we go to the church to sing. The check dress was compulsory. You have to wear it. What again did they say they have collected? We were going to school with hose, cutlasses.
That one is on the
because we have to read. And so I don't understand why teachers teaching and charging 30 students of something, this, have to step aside. Maybe
because the fees are unapproved.
Listen, they are unapproved.
Yes.
Why are they unapproved? See, the free SHS, what they should have done was to have told those without money. Those, of course, we are in a country, we know there are difficulties. There are a section of people who don't have money. They should have been given the free SHS. And rich people like you, and Laura too, and Anaya Jantua, your kids should have been paying.
Why come you didn't mention yourself? Who is rich?
How
are you? How are you deciding who is rich?
I don't have free SHS children.
There are people who are determined to help their kids by paying fees, by doing things, by doing everything for their children in the free SHS. And so you come in to make it compulsory that don't do anything even when you have the money. Doesn't make sense to me. Now, these girls or these children in the secondary school, now they are suffering. Have you seen the food circulating online that is being given to them? See, in the year 2020, my first daughter got admission to, Achi Malta School. And then she went to school for only 2 weeks. And I went to pick her from there and took her somewhere else.
Why?
Because of what we are discussing.
Why? Why exactly?
She always complained of too much stress. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. And as a mother, I felt like, no, it's not right. She's there supposed to learn.
What kind of stress?
Too many stress now. Too many stress. And don't pretend you don't know. You know.
No, I don't have a child in the senior high school.
You don't have a child in the senior high school.
From,
Well, one of the things she told me
a
was
parent's
that,
point of view,
from
it
a
would be good to
parent,
know.
she said they spend so much time in doing a whole lot of jobs that are not necessary and very little time in school, in class. And so she's told, scrub the toilet, weed here, do this, do that. By the time they get to school, they get to the classroom, time is far gone. The teachers too, because now they don't have, because they are not in charge of so many things. Sometimes they come to the school, they come to the class, they teach what they can, they are not pushing. The complaint was too much for me as a parent.
She wasn't studying, but she was doing too much housework.
She was losing focus in studying.
I see.
And that was the problem. See, I have other children that I took to the Cambridge system. In the Cambridge system, they don't do 3 years. They do 4 years in secondary. It is 4 years in secondary.
That's supposed to be for someone who is not rich.
We are not talking about, see, let me tell you the gospel truth about these Cambridge. They might be expensive, but when you are determined to take your child there, it doesn't matter whether you are rich or you're not rich. And if I should use myself as an example, just to condemn what Laura is trying to push across, I don't use money to buy Brazilian hair. I don't buy crunchia. I don't have bags, red, gold, green.
Let's let her talk.
Listen,
let's let her
Laura
talk.
wants to distract me, and I want to answer her because they like doing that. Let me tell you, it is up to a parent's own decision to decide whether I want my kids to go to Cambridge or I want them to go to free SHS. Free SHS is a beautiful idea.
Repeat that.
Laura, so please desist from interjecting. Please desist from interjecting.
See, your government has failed, okay? So when we are talking,
focus.
Focus and continue.
I'm focusing.
Yes.
Okay.
Now listen, what I'm saying to you is that for somebody to decide whether to go to free SHS or to go to private school is a personal decision. It depends on how much sacrifice you want to make for your children. And that is the truth, whether you like it or yes. And so when I sit here and I say my kids are not attending free SHS, it doesn't mean Laura should tell me because I'm rich. I am not rich. the kind of things I have to enjoy, like buying my Brazilian hair, buying this, buying this, I am not doing them. I am saving them and paying it small towards their education. And that is what I want to do. The free SHS is a good policy. The implementation has been wrong. What they are supposed to do is to go back to the drawing board, go back to the table. The caterers that are not being paid, they have to pay the caterers. The teachers that they are frustrating for them not to speak up, they are telling the teachers not to speak up. A lot of this. Look, this uniform they are talking about. My friends' children that are in free SHS have confided in me and told me they don't have uniforms. A lot of the schools don't have the uniforms.
They don't have the uniforms.
They don't have it.
Like which school?
Don't let me put people in trouble. I told you that the government has intimidated the teachers, so they can't voice out. When I mention a school right now, they will call them right now.
But they wouldn't have the name of the teacher, so you can help. Because if the teachers cannot talk, and people like you have the information, you should put it out there so the school gets the help that they need. A lot of the
schools don't have uniforms to wear. That is the truth. If this government, government called MPP, are saying that they have done free SHS, and they are saying that every single school have been provided with the necessary things needed for a child to study and study well, they should prove it. They should come and prove it. A lot of the kids don't have uniform. Now you are saying a teacher has charged baller, money. If there is so much rubbish,
how are they going to evacuate it?
In the school, and the government in power, who claims they have brought free SHS, have not employed cleaners to clean the environment of the school. Should the children sit in the bola? When you are doing things, put a little bit of intelligence and a little bit of sense in it. Don't just do things haphazardly. So if there is no cleaners to clean the rubbish in the school, and the teacher says that, give me 20 cedis.
Is it to clean the rubbish or to collect it?
To collect it.
Yeah.
A teacher says, give me 20 cedis to collect the rubbish. Then you say the teacher has collected 20 cedis. So the teacher should...
At the fees. This small.
I'm even surprised.
If somebody should...
No, can you help us?
No. Now listen.
Okay, please learn from me.
I think in conclusion, the team at the GS, I can see they are swift in taking decisions. The next time the government is doing reshuffling, I think it should move them to the special prosecutor's office. That is where they can be very swift in taking decisions. That is where the mess really is. Not in those 20 cities, 30 cities, 40 cities.
So do you think that these heads of senior high schools should be reinstated?
Of course.
Okay. Lorato,
of course.
The free SHS policy, does it cover all the things aside...
Let her speak for 25 minutes.
Aside, yes, she's not going to speak for 25 minutes. But does the free SHS cover things like the school uniform, the checkered dress, the white dress, things like refuse collection and hymn books and so on?
If you give me time, let me go through what free SHS pays for, and what the prospectus entail. So, for lack of time, let's just categorize it.
Okay.
So, school recurring expenses, yes. First aid, general stationery, sanitation, development, and items in that category. Right.
Sanitation.
Yes, please. School attire, uniforms, house dress, school cloth, and PE kits.
Please, do all the schools have these things as we speak?
Nanekia, please let her speak.
No, now you have to ask this question.
I will ask her.
Please.
Let her speak.
We want to know whether all the schools
let her
have
speak.
the things.
Let her speak.
It's not even true.
Let her speak.
This is on paper.
It's
important.
Let her speak.
It's important for us to appreciate the issues.
Go on.
And when Nana Ikuya was concluding, she said, "Yemfa nyansa, we should add intelligence to whatever we are doing." So let's analyze the issues in that context.
Okay, please go on.
Feeding, 3 square meals for boarders and 1 hot meal for day students. Teaching and learning material, core textbooks, and I'm just categorizing them, mentioning a few in the category. Teaching and learning materials, core textbooks, literature books, exercise books, notebooks, science elective books, WAEC fees, both written and practical, amongst others. Now let me come to the prospectus. The one that was published, the harmonized one. Hard body suitcase or trunk, shop box, drinking cup, toiletries, sandals, a pair of leather slippers, decent sneakers, 2 pairs of socks, pajamas, underwear. Some of the things, they are just...
It's a long list. It's a long list of things.
But when you go to the cleaning materials, it's in 3 groups. That's when I was explaining to you that you don't have students taking the same thing so that it can be enough to go out. List of school items, group 1. And if you have seen any of the placement notifications, you see prospectus and they will put the group by it. List of school items, a third of students, that's group 1. A pair of hand gloves, liquid soap, 5 liters, 1 kg washing powdered soap. Group 2, list of school items, a third of students, 1 bleach, small size, 1 dustpan, 1 long handle broom, 1 scrubbing brush. Group 3, a standing mop and mop bucket, 1 duster, 1 short local broom.
Lorato, my question to you after telling us what is on the list of things that Free SHS provides is Free SHS actually able to provide these items?
Is Free SHS able to provide these things?
Yeah.
I don't think as we sit here, there may be delays in provision of items because I've heard...
For 7 years.
I've heard that there are some schools, and it's data we can easily get. There are some schools that students haven't received certain items.
Yes.
But over the 7 years that Free SHS has been implemented, I don't think there's been any loud cry for these items.
Because head teachers are giving parents the opportunity to pay for these items.
Listen. Now, I also went to secondary school in this country. I went to Wesley Girls High School.
Was it free at the time?
Right. It wasn't free at that time.
Did you go with
But even, I went with him,
please.
even as a Muslim, because it's a Methodist school, on my prospectus, there was hymn book, there was a Bible.
Do you provide
I had to take them.
Nanika.
I took hymn book. And going to church was part of the school schedule. Every Sunday that I spent in that school, I went to church as part of the school schedule. You get it?
Lorato, the problem is that some of these things that the head teachers have charged students for are things that they need for the smooth running of the school and academic affairs. So if these things have not come in on time, what are head teachers to do?
It's obvious we need to explain the issue because the two of you don't understand. Because you are refusing to understand. You are refusing after all the
Nanaya, I'm giving her 1 minute, 1 more minute.
Let's put the issues in
perspective.
You don't decide who I greet.
Even before Free SHS, when you are going to school, there's a list, a fee list, and there's a prospectus list. The prospectus list are items you buy and bring.
Who doesn't know
things like school uniform, house
They're
dress.
supposed to be provided by the Free SHS.
And those are the things Free SHS is
But
paying
if
for.
head teachers
so
are
what Free
charging
SHS
for,
has taken
if the head
is
teachers
the
are charging
items
for
that we
it,
used to pay for as school fees.
if head teachers are charging for this,
Yes.
then it is because the students do not have it. And if the students do not have, if head teachers are charging for this, then it's because the students do not have it. And if the students do not have it, they are unable to run
let me stop you
an
here.
academic year
A child
smoothly.
is going to first year.
Yes.
How does the school know the child doesn't have A, B, C, or D?
Well, when they arrive in school,
They
we see
inspect
the
them.
things that they bring.
When they arrive in school,
Yes.
the prospectus list indicates what they should bring. That is the barest minimum.
Yes.
So if you decide, definitely, nobody needs to tell a parent that is taking a girl to school that the girl needs sanitary pads. You get it? some of those things
I think what I want to ask
but
you,
what you
just
yes,
to end is that,
okay.
what are some of the challenges, in your opinion, okay?
Yes.
What are some of the challenges of the free SHS which you think would contribute to head teachers having to charge these amounts?
Well, I think that what the teachers are charging, one, they are not charging fees. They are charging mostly items on the prospectus. I don't think that when a student is supposed to bring something and they report on the first day and they don't bring it, you need to force them to get it at the school.
What are you supposed to do?
They need to be given some time to bring it. Because I remember...
But the list did not come with timelines.
When I went in, the list didn't come with timelines.
Yes.
When I went to secondary, there was an item I didn't have. I forgot it. I don't know whether it was an extra bedsheet or something. My parents had to bring it the next time. You see, the thing about it, look, let's put the issues in context. It is different.
Ladies,
it is different.
Ladies, you're concluding.
Yes, it is different. It is different.
We are almost done and you're speaking too much.
It is different that there's a shop in the school. When I was in Wesley Girls, there was a junior achievements shop that you can go and buy confectionery. It wasn't mandatory. There's a different case where there's a shop in the school that you are given the option that, oh, if you don't have this, we have things in it. It's up to the parent to decide whether I want to buy it from the school or not. But to make it mandatory is the
a challenge for you. Nanaya.
You see, the point is that
as we sit here, if I show you
Lorato,
messages of
that's
parents
your time. That's your
sending
time.
me
Lorato, that's your time. That's your time, Lorato.
They don't understand the issue.
we do. You have list of what who pays. List of what to pay. Look, you see, TV3, what we have to do, the media in Ghana, what you have to do is to do a forum for parents, for them to come and tell you exactly what is going. We cannot speculate. Let's hear it from the horse's own mouth. Because when they get there, the thing that they pay for, you don't have an idea. Look, my dear, hymn book, is it part of any of the list? But it is necessary.
Hymn book is
Lorato, that's your time. Lorato, that's your time.
Is government paying for hymn book? Government is not paying for hymn book. So if somebody gets there and the person hasn't got a hymn book, you'll be asked to buy it because it's necessary.
And it's compulsory. You have to sing.
It's compulsory. You have to go to church.
Yes.
What are they talking about? House Jesse. Has government provided for house Jesse? Please, you see these things in books and on computer and phones, and they come and they just
the policy is supposed to provide.
They don't provide. I am telling you, they don't provide it.
We're supposed to be implementing
Nah,
it in the air.
I beg you. TV3, you will do a lot for Ghanaians if you do a forum for parents, or you go on the field to find. You see, you should have been there while these children were checking in as Form 1 students to see exactly what is going on. Please, I beg you. Everybody knows that free SHS, a good educational program, is not being implemented properly because of funding issues. The government has no money. The government is broke. We should speak the truth. Look, if they are telling people to be set aside, 2024, Ghanaians should set aside the MPP.
That's all.
They should set aside the MPP.
That's all.
For 20 cities,
That's all you wanted to say.
for 20.
Lorato,
Please, I beg you.
Lorato.
She did the same to me, didn't she?
I didn't.
Lorato.
You spoke too much. I've timed you.
Because you don't want to hear.
Nanaya, please focus.
Do you get? Yes,
You
focus.
refuse to listen to
Lorato.
anything
Lorato.
about this government.
So the point is that if they know how to set aside people who have taken 20 CDs, 10 CDs, 5 CDs, then they should set themselves aside. If they are not going to do that, 2024, I am urging Ghanaians to set this government aside. They have failed woefully, disappointed everybody. Something that is a program, an event that is your own. You said you conceptualized it. You have not been able to implement it properly. See, even the lies is amazing. Yesterday, the president said that Agenda 111 projects are 52% complete. I saw it on TV. Meanwhile, when they come and sit here as communicators, they'll tell you that it is 95%. He said 100%. Yes, he said 52%. Yesterday, I was mortified.
No, you don't allow some of these things. When the president said 52%, it's on the average. of all the projects that are, so
You-
if someone
you
singles
said- you-
one out and says it's 92.
I'm not saying
have
one
you
out. You
fact-checked
said
it?
on the average. Are you come and sit here on the average is
Let's put
95%
issues in
complete?
context. We are
Do you get
discerning
me?
people as
You're,
number
you're,
one.
no, please,
Can
to
you
stop
let
this
us
dissent.
listen to
Yes.
Nanaya?
What is this?
All right, Nanaya, I would
you
like you to
said
land.
maybe it's so
I'd like
frustrating.
you to
My
land.
dear,
Nanekia,
allow
Lorato,
you to be
Lorato,
people.
when you were being interrupted,
Hey,
you didn't
but
like
she kept
it,
on doing
and I
it.
made her stop.
She should
So I
enjoy
encourage you to
a
extend her
dose
the
of
same
her own
courtesy.
Those, I mean, what do you
Nanaya, please conclude.
My dear, I am saying that this government will not speak the truth. The things that they do things anyhow. For instance, yesterday I saw the roads minister talking about doing a road at Kaswa, which will end in 2026. So I told myself, where will you be in 2026?
Have you concluded on the free
No, I
SHS?
haven't I'm saying that when they speak,
Exactly.
they don't speak the truth. So, my dear, we need to get the truth. The speculation about free SHS and the lies are too many. We are toying with the lies of
I
our children.
appreciate your suggestion about the parents
Yeah,
forum.
yes, yes.
I think it's something we can
Yes,
consider.
you have to do the
All
parents
right,
forum.
let me come to you, Nanekia.
Now, some of the challenges facing the free SHS is financial constraints, infrastructure deficit, inadequate and delayed release of food items. Our kids are hungry, they are crying, some want to return home. You'll be shocked. Lack of teaching and learning materials.
Yes.
They don't have it. Inadequate and poor implementation of the policy. And the double, you remember they brought some double track system where some will go in the morning, some will go in the afternoon, chaka 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 like that. That is the way the NPP behave. I keep saying that these are a group and a bunch of confused people. They have no ideas in managing the economy. And instead of them to be remorseful so that they can be taught and understudy the NDC, they will not allow themselves to understudy. They are just all over the place, messing up the entire country. And in 2024, they will be voted out of power. And let me go back to the fact that the scandals in this country is over 100 pages. See, 100. All these are scandals under the NPP. That is where the mess is. Today, special
Where did you get your list from?
Google it. Just Google
So it's
scandals.
a Google search.
Let me mention some. If it's a lie, tell me.
No,
PDS.
I'm just asking
Is
the
PDS
source
a lie?
of your document. Where's the source of your document?
Don't worry about the source. Let's go into
but
the
if
details.
you're going
when
to-
I mention
no,
and
no.
it is a
But
lie, say it
scandals
is a
are-
lie.
I'm just
Scandals
asking-
are all over the place.
But it's why can you not?
Is PDS
Why
something
can
we
you
have
not
to
just
tell
tell
you
us
where
the
it is
source of
coming?
your
You
list?
can tabulate it as is
They
valid.
don't have sources of documents. They're just
All right,
speculating.
I'd like to end on the free SHS. End on the free SHS.
In conclusion,
She doesn't really understand the policy.
Which policy? Who doesn't
Loretta
understand the
says she
policy?
went
She's
to
not-
Wesley
she-
Girls.
don't-
Loretta, you went to Wesley Girls and you are sitting
Are you
here
going to
defending
respond?
this
Are you
mess.
going to respond to
I'm
Loreta's
responding. Wait.
interjections, or are you going to conclude?
Nah, listen, let me conclude.
Yes, conclude.
It hurts me and it breaks my heart that those that were educated through a proper system have decided to mess up our future leaders by bringing this fake, unorganized, this basa implementation of this free SHS.
And so the head teacher should be reinstated.
Yes, and so listen, and so the head teacher should be reinstated. Secondly and lastly, when we were
You should
going
stop
to school,
intimidating us in this country. What kind of
Hey,
life is this?
Nanaya, you are intimidated.
All right, that's our show.
No. Let me ask one
I
thing.
think
You
you
say
made your
the
point.
kids,
Have I
no,
not?
the
I
kids
think
that
your
went
point.
to
You should
school
stop
in December.
intimidating us.
What I want to find out, is it a term? I wanted to ask. Let's
amazing.
hear answer. Is it a term like those that went to school last
feel
week?
intimidated.
You know the kids went.
Nanaya and Lorato.
Now don't cut me off. You know the children went to school last week.
Why?
When they return,
kind of
is
a
that a
democracy
term
is this?
or they will go and continue to have one term? That is what I want to know. GES, please phone in and tell us.
All right.
Because I know they are going for only 3 weeks, and if only 3 weeks is one term,
No, I don't think
then
so.
this MPP government is so wicked.
I don't think so. That's our time, Lorato. That's our time, Lorato.
you are 3 weeks.
We've been talking about the senior high school head teachers who were asked to step aside. Yesterday, Nat and GES and also the leadership of CHAS met, and they have asked that they tamper justice with mercy. I've been talking to Nanaya Chimpin Dalkwa. Ladies, you know what? We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're watching TV3 News.